OMG, it's Tuesday and we're in Texas and it's time to talk Texacoin. It's Bobby Gray here. Is this thing on? It's on. Can we hear me? Can we hear me? I think we can hear me. No headphones. Okay, welcome back to another edition of What the Heck is Going On These Days with Texacoin. And your host, Bobby Gray, founder, fearless leader, the guy that's responsible in both the good ways and the bad ways for everything that's going down. And we got a bit of all of them. We got both happening right now. But buckle up, grab some popcorn, delicious cocktail, maybe a glass of water. This is my first glass of water for the day. And I haven't eaten anything today either. That's what happens when all heck breaks loose. So we're going to take a couple deep breaths and we're just going to get into it. Let's start the call tonight with a cautionary tale. A tale of some bad news for one of our finest. I'm not going to mention names, but if he's out there on the call and he wants to tell them story himself, then present yourself. I know he's a little embarrassed, and it is a guy, so that's a clue. But we had a big Texacoin purchase the other day. We had a big Texacoin buy. And the buyer asked me to get a special price. And of course, I'm not able to do that on market. I got to go off market to arrange things like that. And it happens every once in a while on a limited basis. Remember, every time somebody gets on the rocket ship, they restart the process. They restart the adventure, the cycle. And so we've got a lot of guys that have been on the rocket for a long time. Those guys accumulated quite a few coins from back in the early days. And so we need those guys to continually sell. They might be sitting there looking at it and saying, I was sold on day one. My money's in. I'm good to go. I don't want to sell anything until we get to, my game over money number. And of course I say that's great. And I appreciate the confidence. But we need some people to sell. If we don't have anyone selling, we don't have a market. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about in just a moment here. So this new buyer came in and he said, I want a big chunk. I want a fair price. What can you do for me? And I reached out to our TXC Whales chat. If you're not in the TXC Whales chat, then keep stacking. But I reached out to some of our whales and I said, hey, who wants to do a deal? Here are the proposed terms. Let me know if anyone wants to bite. Well, a couple of people came back and said, sure, I'll do it. It's okay. And I arranged a private sale. It's a $30,000 private sale, not a small amount. And the buyer said, hey, maybe I should do a test transfer first of some USDC before I, send the full amount. I said, no, absolutely not. You don't need to. This is an experienced professional. He's been around the block. He knows the risks. You don't have to do a test. He says, all right, you're sure? I said, we got this. And so he sent over the full $30,000. And of course, it all made it there. Exactly the way it was supposed to. No problem whatsoever. Instantaneously, just a couple seconds later, the money showed up where it was supposed to go. End of story? Unfortunately not. So I thought the deal was done. Everyone was happy. I get a call this morning from the seller, and he said, I made a mistake. I made a pretty big mistake. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know what caused it, but I got an email from Coinbase last night saying that my account had a problem, an attempted hack from Singapore. Call this number, we'll get it sorted out. And he said, I have a lot on my mind. There's a lot going on. I got stuff happening, and I called. I wasn't thinking. And we went through this and we went through that, and the guy seemed really helpful, very straightforward, real caring. And he told me that I had to move it off of Coinbase onto a Coinbase wallet. That made a lot of sense. I'm going from Coinbase to Coinbase. How dangerous could it be? So I download the Coinbase wallet, and he gives me the 12 words to set up my new account. And I said, oh, no, you didn't. You didn't do it, did you? And he said, so I set it up, and I did a test transaction, and it went through fine. And then I transferred $30,000 in there. And as soon as I did, it was gone, all gone. And I said, oh, man, tell me that's not true. That is a heartbreak. And he said, no, it's true. I said, did we learn anything? Yeah, learned my lesson. I was like, you should have to share with everybody, man. Everybody needs to learn a lesson from this. He said, I'm too embarrassed. I said, well, I'll share it for you. And so I share that with you today as like kind of some good news and some bad news. It's mostly bad news. The good news is that our project is getting big. And of course, big is exciting. Big means big numbers. Big means that $30,000 is probably coming your way sometime soon, if not already. And that's a lot to get excited about. I mean, $30,000 is half a car for some people. It's a down payment on a house. It was just one transaction for us, one transaction of many for him. There's a lot to look forward to. But the fact that our project is getting big is also scary because it's going to attract the worst elements of our industry. You know, this is the reason that kept a lot of people on the sidelines for years. People say, well, I want to get in, but I've got hackers, I've got phishers, I've got scams left and right, I've got wallets being forgotten, thrown into landfills, and we just can't walk down to the local Chase Bank and get a refund. There's no chargeback. There's no do-over on that transaction. It's gone. It's instantaneously gone with no recourse whatsoever. And so, guys, miners, I have to encourage you, pretty please, with sugar on top. Use extreme caution as these numbers get bigger and as this project gets more and more and more exciting, as we go in the exact direction that we knew we were going to go. Get excited about it. It's great stuff, but be careful, please. Please don't be that next phone call saying, I did something kind of silly. I regret it. Um, it's a real shame. And I only hope that you and I can all learn from that misfortune because it's terrible, but it's better to learn those lessons now, even at 30,000 bucks. I'd rather you lose it at 30,000 bucks, learn that lesson today than learn it at 300,000 or at 3 million because those numbers are also coming our way. I can say that with a high level of certainty that it's in the not so distant future, but please, I beg you guys, be careful. Watch out for scams. You know, it's getting really weird. You're going to get a phone call someday sounding exactly like me. Is this Bobby? Yeah, it's Bobby. And you need me to you're sure, Bobby? Yep. Yep. I just need you to No, 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 no. Always be skeptical. Every time in every situation, use extreme caution. Tread carefully, guys, because it's fun. It's going to get more fun, but it's also going to just continue to attract the worst parts of our civilization because there's going to be a lot of money involved, even more so than what we have right now. Um, but having said that, let's stop for a moment and talk about the market because this is a really important thing. And I want to talk about the market because it's very, very important that I'm upfront with you guys continuously about the market strategy and how what we're doing is not so hard to understand. It's not so far-fetched, and it's going to be another one of the things that we do to garner the attention of the world. And I say that because I had a conversation last week. We made some videos with my friends Mike and Terry about Checkmate. You know, what are all the different angles that we have to get to where we want to go? We're sure that we're going to get there. Why are we so sure? Well, we call it Checkmate. And I don't remember if we got into it, but one of the things that we talked about being Checkmate is our market stair stepping its way up to $16. In fact, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I don't think we talked about it. Also, by the way, get your questions in the bottom over here. There's a Q&A section. I will go through, sounds good, all the questions. I'm happy to do it. This is our time to share together. I didn't turn on our lights. Let me turn on some lights. Hold on. Wait here. Go right back. Hey. We've got lights. Do I look better with the light or without the light? I feel like I'm very shiny all of a sudden. Maybe less light? Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, less light. I think I'm okay. So anyway, so we talked about, oh, you turned in 5 minutes late. How did I lose? I didn't lose it. Somebody more foolish than me lost it. I have to rewatch the video to get the answer to the question. Just don't lose it. He got fished. Anyway, so checkmate. We talked about all the different angles that we have to reach our goal, to get to the very top of the industry. And I'm confident that every single one of them is a checkmate. It means we've got this thing locked down from multiple angles. We talked about the angle of building the mine. We talked about the angle of the marketing budget. There's a bunch of other stuff we probably talked about. But one of the things that gets us to where we want to go is the continual increase in the value of our coin. And the reason that that's so important is because we wanted to get onto CoinMarketCap. We wanted to share our story there. And we wanted to make sure that our data, our market data, was being traded with the world. And so what happens is we've got this website, and this website is the #1 website in the world for all things crypto. This is where everybody goes to find the hot performing coins. They come onto this page, they click on the percentage gain, which one's the biggest percentage gain in the last 24 hours, which one's up the most in the last 7 days. And very quickly, you can scroll through this list and see which coins are doing the best. Dog with hat. There you go. Hey, Pepe is up there too. It's up 81% in the last 7 days. So we want to have our coin on CoinMarketCap. We want the world to see it. We want the world to see that we're performing. And so if you search for Texacoin here, you'll see that it's loading our market data. Well, our market data right now, unfortunately, is only coming from one source, and that's Bitmart. Now, this is an interesting fun fact. Maybe. I haven't verified it yet, but I just had dinner last night with Jason and Jennifer, and they said, guess what? You know the reason that our coin is stuck in like number 4,000 and something? We're number 4,513. But if you go to the cryptocurrencies list and you pull up the main ranking and you start scrolling your way back to like, page 6, you should be seeing coins on here in the mid like $50 million range. Well, hold on a second. Wasn't Texacoin somewhere like creeping its way up to the 30, 40, $50 million range? Do a quick search because I don't remember. Yeah, there we go. Where's our number? Why is it hiding from me right now? 34.8. It's all the way to the top. I wasn't paying attention. So 34.81 million, you would figure that we're coming up on like, the top 10 pages of CoinMarketCap. If you go down to page 8, we should be right now on page 7, but we're not. Why not? Jason told me that from his research, we are not on this list simply because we only have one market feeding data into CoinMarketCap. And CoinMarketCap's algorithms have concluded that if we have just one market feeding data in there, maybe I can tilt my camera back. I feel like my camera's not high enough. If we only have one market feeding data in there, then it deems our market data unreliable to share on the main lists. And so now all of a sudden we're going to be double checking that and deciding if that is in fact true. And if it is, we're going to be very interested in getting ourselves on 2 more exchanges as quickly as possible. But back to checkmate. So we want our data to be out there. We want it to be shared with the world. And we want the world to be able to go through and research and say, okay, where did this coin start? Where is it today? Well, we started at 2.8 cents. That's a little over a year ago. Actually, we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary on Dextrade, aren't we? Wow, look at that. How time flies. May 15th of last year, we launched all the way back here, and then we froze because we weren't ready. But yeah, that was 363 days ago. Look at that. Okay. So anyway, so we want people to be able to go back and look at this chart and say, okay, I see where they started. I see that they had real trade activity. They've got real volume, up, down, up, down, up, down. And then they're moving themselves in this right direction. And this direction is based on a lot of different factors. But the biggest one of all is us, is me, is the design that I put together. Let me see if I can find it here while we're talking. I published some time ago a sheet that I call the road or the path to 16. Let me see if I can find it here. Hopefully you've seen this. It's called the path to 16. And I'm going to save it and show you in just a second. There we go. Where is it? It's on my desktop. So I call this the path to 16. That's right here. Hopefully you can see it. You can. I call this the path to 16. And this is a chart that I put together that demonstrates exactly how we go to 16. And once I put this together, I started realizing and concluding, communicating that our journey to 16 was a lot more mechanical than it was market driven. It's going to be a lot more based on a formula than it is to be based on hype. And so this is what I call the path to 16. If you're seeing it for the first time, I'm going to share it in just a moment in our exchange and trading chat. So don't worry, you will see it again very shortly. In fact, let me share it there right now. Forward, mine, TXC miners, exchange and trading. Voila, there. Check it out. Follow along at home if you like. So again, the idea is that our movement towards our goal of $16 is not based on hype. It's not based on pumps and dumps. It's based on one thing. And that one thing is called liquidity. And so when I set out, as you may remember in the story that I've told a couple times now, when I set out to get started on the path to the top 100 crypto, $1 billion coin value, I talked with the experts and I figured out that it was going to cost about $3 million for us to buy our way into the top spot. And in order to do that, we'd have to pay to get onto big exchanges. We'd have to pay for promoters, people to go out there and, pump our coin, influencers. And I'd have to have cash set aside for liquidity. And what does that mean? It means that we're always there holding cash in our own hands to buy back our coins from the market. So we go out there, we start saying coins for sale, who wants them? The market buys them. And then we always have to be willing to buy those coins back or the price drops. Now, if we start taking that cash and we use that cash to, buy ourselves luxury cars and mansions and boats and all that stuff, next thing you know, the market goes to cash out and all the money's gone. So the price drops and then it goes to zero and it's over. That's what we call a rug pull or a dump. And so they said we have to have cash to do that. Otherwise, the market's not going to have any confidence in our digital asset and they won't bite. Okay, well, how much do we need? Well, it depends on how high you want to go. And so I put together this schedule that says, if I want the price of our coin to be at a particular level, I'm going to have enough cash to back it up. And this is what I call the path to 16 that you see in front of you, hopefully on your phone. And so what I'm estimating here is that if we have our digital asset TXC at a particular price, for people to come and go, buy and sell, day in, day out, for it to be stable at a particular price, we need to be standing there on standby with cash in hand to pick up those coins on the open market if there is not enough liquidity on the buyer side. Now, it doesn't mean we have to. It doesn't mean it's always going to be required. It just means that we need to be the first buyer. If we're out there telling people that Texacoin is a legitimate currency and it can be used to buy goods and services and traded in the marketplace and people should invest in mining, ultimately they want to know that it has a particular value. Well, who guarantees that value? Well, the market does. But before the market does, we do. And I want you to think about it like this. If we start our own currency, on day one, we could say, we want this little clip to be our currency. It's not particularly rare and it's not particularly, intrinsically valuable, but it represents a promise to exchange and trade in our small community. And we have a very small community, so we could say that this is a 1 penny clip. And if I give it to you, you're going to give me a penny worth of stuff. And if I trade it back, you're going to give me a penny of stuff back. That's it. It's all currency is. It's a promise. It's an agreement between men, producers. And so we kicked off and we said, okay, Texacoin is very small. Our community is very small. So let's have a small value. We opened at 2.8 cents. Then we step back. Then we evaluate. We put the product out there at a particular price and we say, do you think, world, that this coin is worth 2.8 cents? Now, if the buyers outnumber the sellers, this value stays stable or goes up. If the sellers outnumber the buyers, it pushes the price down. This is just basic market, dynamics 101. And so we begin that process somewhere, and then we step back and we let the market do what it wants to do. Well, the market pushed the price very quickly up to 10 cents. Okay, well, this seems like a stable value. We have a very small number of coins. At 10 cents a coin, it means our market cap is like $1 million. And I remember that was a big day when we broke through $1 million market cap. And we said, well, we got a long way to go to $1 billion, but we've got something that's real, something that's actually traded on the market, and we're off to a good start. Okay, so once we started seeing the price slowly but steadily climb, meaning there are more buyers than sellers of Texacoin, I said, well, we've got something good here. And now we need to put together a chart that shows what our plan is to go from where we are today to 16. If we keep saying 16 by February of 2026, sooner or later, someone's going to say, well, how? When? You can't be at 10 cents until January 31st of 2026 and then jump up to 16 the next day. No one's going to believe that. So we need to have a steady, gradual increase in value between now and the target goal of February 2026. So the path to 16 is that slow but steady increase. And I can tell you a couple different things about it. First of all, the number of what we want the value to be on the left side of the page is the target price by end of month. And the number on the right side, there are kind of two numbers there, and we'll talk about those two numbers. The number on the right side is the amount of cash that I believe, just me, it's just my best guess, my estimate. It's the amount of cash that I think we need to have set aside specifically for liquidity to support the market at that price. What we do is we take the market to that particular price, and then we step back. Now, if people say, well, that's a really good deal, and I'm going to sell, I'm going to push that price down, we got to jump in there with additional cash. If we burn through all the cash that we have set aside for liquidity, the price drops. Now, we don't want that to happen. Of course, it's going to happen sooner or later that we're going to get to some number and the number is going to be wrong. Our estimates will be off and we'll have to make an adjustment. Maybe. But it's just a guess. It's a guess as to what we think we're going to need in terms of liquidity in order to support the market at these particular prices. Here's the most important thing about this. Number one, it's not a secret. It's never been a secret. The chart that I put together, I shared almost as soon as I had it done. You can see that it's coming from a notebook. But now we need to put together an official published version of that so that you and the rest of the world can see what the plan is to go from, zero brand new, worthless to $16 a coin. Where we are today, our target price support value is 75 cents. Where is the market right now? Let's take another look. Market today is at 83 cents. Now, let's understand the market a little bit. On the top of the market on DexTrade. Now, why do we use DexTrade? DexTrade is the more realistic version of the Texacoin market. It's not the bigger one, but the bigger one has what we call a market maker involved, which means that we are contractually obligated, get this one, to buy and sell our own coin to satisfy a particular volume that is indicated by the exchange. Talked about this a long time ago. The exchange makes us sign a contract that says we're going to hire a market maker to go in there and do our own buys and sells against ourselves to support the market requirements. Okay, it's just how it works. A little goofy. We don't have that on DexTrade. So everything that you see on DexTrade is 100% legit. It's all full market-based activity. It's also the reason why the DexTrade data is not being shared with CoinMarketCap, because DexTrade does not like our spread. What's a spread? A spread is the gap between the buy and the sell price. Well, today, right now, the sellers are asking for 83.99999, and the buyers are offering 83.989. Pretty small spread, if you ask me. I mean, it's less than 1%. But you can see how much volume there is at that by going over here and looking at the market depth. And so we only have a couple dollars worth of buyers there at that spread. You got to go all the way down to 79 cents before you get real volume on the buy side. Okay. And so Dex trade administrators look at that and they say, well, we would like to see more volume here, more orders here in your buy book before we open up and share the data with CoinMarketCap. Okay, well, how do you do that in a market that's free? How do you like tell the market that they've got to fill in the gap here, or else they're not going to open up and share the data with CoinMarketCap? You can't. It's not a free market then. You can't have it both ways. If you have a market requirement that says that I've got to put my own orders in there at a particular price, it's not a free market. So what we do is we say, okay, we're going to let Dex trade be the Wild West. That's 100% honest, accurate. Bitmart is going to be the one that we're using the market maker. Now the market maker is looking at what's happening on Dex trade and trying to replicate it over on Bitmart. Why? Because the last thing we want is arbitrage with people coming here to Dex trade and buying it at one price and then selling it back to us over on Bitmart at another price, higher or lower, depending on which way they can make profit. Okay. I know, guys, this is complex stuff, but I got to give you the behind the scenes stuff so you know that I'm being upfront with you. If you ever get asked questions about it or people say, well, it's really weird that the price seems to jump at the end of the month. Yeah, it's because we take it to those levels. I'll talk more about that in a second. Anyway, so Dex trade is the market that really is the more free version of what is actually interesting with the buyers and sellers. And you can see exactly what the volume is. You can see exactly how many buyers and sellers there are. So when we saw this big jump where we went from like last month's approximate pricing, mid 50 cents, all the way up to May's price, where we're now kind of hanging out around 82, 83, that happens because we do it. We go in there based on the path to 16 chart and say, okay, we're ready to make a buy. Now, why do we feel like we're ready to make the buy? The readiness comes from the liquidity. The liquidity comes from the success of our organization. Excuse me. Need my first glass of water for the day. I've told you for a while now that when the money comes in, we do three things with it. We pay commissions, we build the mine, we promote the coin. But that's not all we do. We don't talk about the other things because there's a lot more complexity that goes into them. And one of the last things we want to do is try to suggest to you that we are a coin that has a real world value behind it, like a stable coin. We're not an asset backed coin. We're a coin that's market is based on, or that's price is based on the market. That's it. But one of the things that we do, call it the fourth thing, in addition to like paying the developers to write the protocol and do that stuff and the layer 2 community currencies, like there's a bunch that happens. But one of the other things that we do is we support the price of the coin with our own cash. There's a lot of weird stuff about Texacoin that have made it kind of a weird unicorn in this space. One of those things is the fact that we use our own cash, our own profits to support the price of the coin. Profits from what? Profits from building the mine. You know, we're one of the only coins that's able to use its own money to promote our coin, billboards, radio, all that stuff. We're not selling, we're not dumping the coin on the open market to free up cash for an advertising budget. That comes from a different place, which means we don't have an advertising budget that's putting downward pressure on the value of Texacoin. Why? Because we've got a profitable endeavor that's doing something totally different, that's able to use some of its cash to promote the coin. Very strange, but it works. Nobody else has done it. I don't know why, but we're able to do it. Okay. So where was I? We were talking about path to 16 and cash for liquidity. So go back to my little chart here. I know it's over there. Let's pull up this one instead. So in order for us to have the price of the coin at or around 75 cents, we need to have, these were my initial numbers on the right, and then my revised numbers are on the left. We need to have a cash reserve of $250,000. Okay. Let me say it again. In order to support the price of the coin at a particular level, we have to estimate the amount of liquidity required to support that price. The liquidity means we put the cash in and then we step back and we wait and we watch and we see if the market engages Texacoin at that price. If the miners are the majority holders, if the miners come along and say, that's great, I'm out. I've heard you got drama brewing at headquarters. I'm cashing out. We'll talk about that in a minute. That pushes the price down. And if we don't have enough cash there to buy back those coins that people all of a sudden want to sell, maybe they're scared, maybe they're panicking, maybe they heard some fake news, maybe they have a legitimate bill they need to pay, whatever it is, does not matter the reason. I hope you guys understand. You don't have to explain to me if you want to sell. If you want to sell, they're your coins, you sell them. There's cash there. It's our cash. It supports that. There's a lot of other people out there participating in the market. It's not just us. How do I know that? Well, let's go back to sharing the screen. You can very easily, very quickly see the order that I've got in here. Do you notice anything that looks strange about the market depth chart? Look at this big giant wall here at 79 cents. Sure enough, you scroll down the list of buyers and there's a $22,124 order sitting here at 79 cents. Guess who that is? It's me. It's us. It's our money. It's our cash supporting the price of the coin at 79 cents. Now, to start this process, I injected about $80,000 cash. I had to buy out all the coins that were sitting there between 55 cents and 75 cents. And I put my order in and I bought a bunch of coins. And then the market stabilized. Okay, the point is that we have to have the cash reserve in order to push the market in the direction that we want it to go. And then we step back and watch and see if we were right. If we burn through all that $250,000, then we were wrong. And the market's not ready. We're not big enough. We're not grown up enough to support the price of Texacoin at that price. That's all it is. That's what we have with the path to 16. Any questions about that? I'm sure we have a bunch of questions. Get them in the Q&A. But anyway, that is the stair-step strategy that I put together to take us from brand new, completely worthless, to a $16 per Texacoin billion-dollar coin. Excuse me, need more water. So here's what I'm announcing to you today. Besides sharing this information with you and telling you exactly how it works, letting you know that we need to publish this information so that it's in our resources so people understand how we're getting to 16. The path to 16 is all based on one thing. And that one thing is the growth and the success of our mind-building endeavor. Let's take a quick journey through our numbers from last week. You've probably already seen them a bunch of times. But hey, guys, wow. Last week, after the dust settled on the numbers and we finally ran commissions yesterday, $1.295 million. It was more than double the previous week, which was a record. Before that, we did 600,000. That was our record back at the end of or middle of March. Then last week, we did 609,000 2 weeks ago, 609,000. Last week, 1.3 million. If you look at it on a monthly basis, you can see that we cooled off a little bit in April. And now, not even halfway through the month, we've already surpassed last month's numbers. And we're on to maybe doubling what we did in March, which was a spectacular month, which was more than double what we did, almost double what we did the month before that. And you know that we only need to double what? 7, 8 times before we reach our goal? It happens fast. I don't expect us to double every month. Maybe we will. 2, tell 2, tell 2, tell 2, and you double every month. We've got a real great promotion for bringing on 3 people in your first 30 days, so it's likely that we could triple every month. I don't know. I don't think we're at the tipping point. I don't think it's too early to tell for sure. I know for sure that we've got a successful program. I know that for sure because we are overwhelmed at the office. Not so overwhelmed that you need to jump ship. Hold on. We've been here before. Plenty of times we looked at it and said, oh, crap, how are we going to sign up more than 10 people a day? These numbers are insane. Where are we now? Last week we did 145. 124. So we're seeing multiple days now, over 100 people. Holy moly. What an amazing thing we have. So I can only ask you, I'm not going to beg, but I can only ask you kindly, please be patient with us and our team as we work to make sure that safety and security stay all the way at the top of our priority list. And we had a couple great guys that were working for us outside of our office. And I said, we can't have that anymore. We can't have people with access to our data outside of our office. We have to limit access to our administrative servers by IP address. We can only have people inside of this building accessing that stuff. We have to get more strict with security. We have to get more strict with onboarding, on-ramping, and off-ramping. I mean, guys, we've got a growing, healthy organization. We need as much support from you as we can get to hold the ship together. That's my job. My full-time job now is just making sure that this beautiful thing that we've created together keeps the pointy side forward and the shiny side up. And it's work. It's work. It's fun, but it's work. And so thank you for your patience. I know we're going to lose some people. It's real frustrating when somebody goes, well, didn't get a message back in 3 days. Not interested. We get it. Chances are good they'll be back. It's frustrating for you. It's frustrating for us. Nobody likes to see that happen. But guys, we got a great thing. We have to hold it together. It's going to take all we've got to do that. But wow, what a week it was last week. Holy moly. Great job to all of you guys for crushing it. Now, this week I think is going to be just as wild. Why? Because we're coming up on closing out week 59, which, as you already know, is the last week that you've got to qualify for our trip to Las Vegas. We've got 52 people that have qualified already. Let me see if I can find the list. Is it reports? Yes, it is. Open it up. Let's take a listen and see if we can share the screen here real quick. This is the Vegas congratulatory list. Wow, 106 points. Winner, we got 2 3-dice winners. Great job, Joe and Jason. Thank you very much. Terry is right there at the 3rd position, but I think we're over 52 now. It may even be more than that because I haven't counted it yet today. But we're going to have a great time in Vegas. And if you'd like to join us, you're more than welcome to. If you'd like to join us and have Texacoin pay for it, then you've got until the end of this week. We brought on 5 new people at the office to help us with this overwhelming backlog and workload that we've got. We brought on 5 more cell phones so that you can get text messages from even shadier numbers than you had before. But we're working through it. And it's a process. We've been here before. I'm sure we'll be here again. Come on, what happened? You guys couldn't onboard 100 people a day? Well, what about 3,000 people a day? That day will come. I know that day will come because of you. So thanks for hanging tight with us. Thanks for all the patience. Thanks for all the kindness. Thanks for the kind words and the sweet treats. It keeps us going. But do remember that this is the last week to qualify for Vegas. If you're thinking you're going to go, book your flight. We will reimburse you up to $500 per ticket. If you think you're going to qualify with 10 sponsorships and you want to bring a guest, we'll qualify or we'll reimburse you for up to 2 tickets at $500 a piece. Your room is on us. Feel free to upgrade yourself to a suite. We'll reimburse you for $1,000 for your room. 4 nights. We arrive on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we depart on Thursday. Now remember, Wednesday's the big day for us. And so if you've got people you want to invite in from around town or somewhere nearby, Wednesday will be the day that we have a bunch of events planned to have a great time together. We don't really have yet a good itinerary from Bitmain for the events that they'll be hosting. I do know that I will be speaking there. I don't know if it's Monday or Tuesday, but I want all of you there dressed up in Texacoin gear, hats, shirts, windbreakers. I don't know what else you got that's got Texacoin logos on it, but bring it. Because we want our friends to know that we've got a thing. We want them to start talking about it and start speculating and trading as well. And so that competition is coming to an end, which is why I'm pretty sure that this will also be a wild week. It'll probably be a wild week because we still have another 75 people to enter in. And we're starting to see like a 3,000, like a 3-seat average now. So 70 plus people times 29 85. Best guess is we got another 200 grand to put on top of the 498 that's already there. And so this might not be a record week. Maybe it will be, but it'll definitely be better than last week. That is for sure. Holy moly. So deep breaths. We're working through it, and it's a great time. And guys, I can just beg you to understand and see what I see, that this growth is because we've got something real. We've got something great. We've got something to be excited about. We got something that people want to share. We got something that's working, and it's going to continue to work. Checkmate is what I say. Our growth, our advertising budget, the community coming together, the social media, all the stuff. We're right place, right time, all of it. It all works. It's all great. So having said all that, we're 42 minutes into our call. What I wanted to do tonight, which we'll do next time, but what I wanted to do tonight, and I don't have access to it because I was stuck at the office too late to go run home and grab my cold storage wallet. But I'm going to set up a coin. And just like I did with my Game Over coin, I'm going to write Liquidity on the back of this. And I'm going to share the address with you. And I'm going to tell you that this is the coin that we're using for our liquidity. Now, if we ever have to tear into it, it means that we didn't have enough cash to back up our market at a particular price. We were wrong. We'll have to make an adjustment. The amount of liquidity that I estimate for us to need in order to support the price of the coin at $16 by February of 2026, get this, is $100 million. It's a big number. Guys, I'm telling you, the numbers are getting big. For us to support the price of the coin at 75 cents, I believe we need $250,000. That means people can buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell all day long. And then we're standing there with an extra $250,000 just in case we have more sellers come along than the market is ready for at that moment. In order for us to move the price to the June level of 79 cents, we will need to have $500,000 of liquidity stashed away on that cold storage coin. We can't put all that cash onto an exchange. It's not smart. It's not safe. It's out there like a sitting duck. So we put enough cash onto the exchange to support the price of the coin, and then we can reload it if necessary. But it hasn't been necessary. Why? Because we've got a project that's growing. We've got more cash coming into the project than is trying to leave. Think about what would happen if that order that took place that ended up in disaster tried to go in on the market. If that order went in on DexTrade, somebody placed a $30,000 order, you can mouse over and you could see that that order would take the price all the way up to $1.02 or $1.03. Now, it sounds good, but we don't have enough cash right now based on my estimate to support the market at that high price. And so we'll see a pop and then we would see a crash right back down. As you can see here. Well, when we jumped all the way up over $1 to $1.02, $1.03, $1.04, it's exciting. And if you're there to sell coins, you'll make some money on it. But we can't reliably support the price of that coin at a level that we're not prepared to support. And so what you're going to see is a wallet that's got a set amount of cash in there. And if you see the market move up, as it did last week and as it has done in previous times before that, you can see where the market moves are. There's a market move there. There's a market move there. There's probably a market move at the end of April, beginning of May. Or sorry, end of June. Which one's first? February, beginning of April? No, March, beginning of April. I got this, guys. I got it. I'm telling you. Am I sharing my screen right now? I'm not even sharing my screen right now. So if you see the market move, check the wallet. See if the liquidity is in there to support the market at that price. If it's not in there, then it ain't me. It's not us. Again, remember, all we do is we go in there, we push the market, and we step back, and we watch. So in order to push the market to a particular place, we need to have the liquidity. We're going to stash the liquidity on a cold storage coin. That's where we know it's safe. And I didn't have time to run and grab the one that we've got our assets on right now, but I will for next week. So tune in next week while we fund and share with you the cold storage coin that backs up our liquidity, and then watch it grow. The same way you're watching the Litecoin wallet grow from our merge mining success, the same way that maybe you're watching some of our other wallets grow. It's real fun. It's real fun to see this cash come in and materialize and start to add up. But that's what we're doing with the market. So a couple things on the list for this week. Number one, market explanation. Hope you understand where that's coming from. It's important that I'm upfront with you about it. It's important that you're upfront with our community about it. And we're going to publish that information on the website so that everyone that wants to go and pick through these details can have the same understanding. Two, big week last week. Growing pains are back. We've got a lot of automation coming our way. You guys aren't going to like some of it because it's all based on people paying with crypto. And when people pay us with peer payments, guys, this week I've got like $850,000 of peer payments to track down. And we're starting to make calls. Hey, can you send us that cash you collected? Yeah, no, I'm busy. I'll do it in a couple of weeks. Guys, that's money. We have to put it to work. You can't look at last week's number and say, man, look at that. We brought in 1.2 blah, blah, blah million and then expect results with it when I don't actually have it. So we're going to keep pushing towards crypto payments. Hopefully it's not going to be too painful. A lot of you seem to already be ready for it, which is great. But that's the direction we have to go because we can really automate that stuff really well. All right, so we're going to keep moving in that direction. Week 59 is here. This is the last week that you have to qualify to join us in Las Vegas on us. Thanks, Texacoin. Get your flight paid for, get your room paid for. Hit that 50-point mark from your sponsored people, and you got $5,000 cash bonus to enjoy while you're out there as well. If you can't join us in Vegas, it's okay. We can bank the points. What that means is we got an event coming up in Hawaii. We got an event coming up in Dallas. We've got an event coming up in Thailand and Singapore, which will be our big event for the year. So if you don't want to join us in Vegas, if you got better things to do, or you've already been to Vegas enough times, or you're just busy that weekend or that week, you can bank those points and use them towards a future extravagant experience, which is great. But that's what's happening. It's very fun. It's very exciting. It's all good. Thanks again for the patience as we work through the growing pains. And let's jump now into your questions. Here we go. Q&A. Turn in 5 minutes late. How did we lose the 30,000? Phishing scam. Sucks. Austin says, I tried to link another cold storage coin and add a wallet to the Texas app, and I entered that address for the wallet on my MineTXT profile. I tried to set it to a certain percentage on my future mine coins to go to the second cold storage coin, and it didn't work. Is this a possibility? I'm not sure exactly what you're asking, Austin. You might want to just connect with the office tomorrow and see if they can help you set your wallet distribution. But it should work pretty reliably. It has in the past, so unless there's something wrong with it, it should work now. But send an email into help@minetxt.com, and they will get to the bottom of it with you. Casper, hi. Will the cost of miners change over time, up or down? No, I don't think so. Remember, the cost is based on a bunch of different factors that are all part of the same formula, right? We want to build 100 million mega hash mine. We want to do that with a community of 1 million people. Better part of 1 million people. 1 million times 100 mega hash per person equals 100 million mega hash. We want to bring in about $1 billion. 1 million times 1,000 is $1 billion. So there are a lot of things that are all dependent on each other. And so we really don't have the ability to change that a lot without consequences. While we could use price as a gas pedal to either increase our growth or slow it down, I prefer instead to leave that really up to you guys. And what we look at with the market, the same thing, is that we've got about a $5 a day ROI right now. So even as the coins per seat continue to go down, as that price stair steps up, it means that we've got an ROI that's staying consistent over a long period of time. And I really like that. It means that if somebody jumps in today, look, you're probably going to get your money back if you don't do anything in about 200 days. And that seems like a fair exchange of value. I like that. I don't want to stretch that any longer. I think that that's a reasonable thing inside of our strange crypto community. TJ, can't see you at all now. I'm back. Mark says, we are growing rapidly. Yes. What changes are we making to onboard process to smooth things out? Okay. So besides bringing on 5 new people and 5 new phones and 5 new text messages, we're really relying heavily on peer payments. You know, if we get a peer payment from somebody whose name we recognize, we put it in right away. We don't even bother tracking it down. If your name is Thomas or Jay or, a bunch of other names, we just put it right in. We got to follow up with it next week, but that helps speed things up. It only takes us about 3 or 4 minutes to grab a coin, put somebody's name on it, link it, add their wallet, and send them along. The problem is in tracking down money. And I really need your help on this, right? Like, set up a Coinbase account. If you're talking to somebody that's even remotely interested, tell them to set up a Coinbase account, put some cash in there. Why? Because that's the easiest way for us to get paid. They give us a transaction ID or a screenshot. We track it down, we put it in, and it's done. Even crypto later is a great payment method for us. Send us a screenshot that shows you added the money to Coinbase. We'll put you in now. We'll reach back out in a week to collect the money. We got a lot of money there too. But the point is that we can grow rapidly with crypto. If you're Venmoing or Zelling or Cash Apping or asking us to do some goofy thing, it slows it down. You ever see that like MasterCard commercial where like everyone's paying and swiping with the credit card and then somebody pulls cash out? Yeah, it's just like that, except differenter, betterer. So anyway, more people in the office, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and more people paying with crypto and pure payments is really going to be a big help for us. But guys, look, you're going out of your way. You need to take some responsibility for this. You guys are trying. You guys are trying to break the office team. I can feel it. Let's go put another 200 people in today and see what they do. After that, we've got more automation coming. We're going to give team leaders and captains and rangers access to the system so they can add their own people and place them. We'll also have a format where you can upload an Excel file, do a bulk add and bulk payment. So lots of stuff coming, but not quite there yet. Good question. Okay, Brenda's iPad wants to know, how can we make my business a part of this? Meaning like doing transactions with the coin. How can make my business be a part of this? Well, the easiest thing right now is to just download the TXC wallet. I'm ready to send and receive payments. We got a lot of people that are already doing that. We don't have a directory of that yet. We're getting close to the point where we will warrant and be able to support that. But we need like more than 3 businesses in there, and we just haven't focused on that part of us yet. Having a really stable value makes it possible, but again, it hasn't been a top priority yet. Jacob, new miner here. Hello, Jacob. Welcome. Glad you're on board as well. If I don't manage to get some people signed up in the 30 days, but decide, hey, I want to buy more, do I still get to add on my current mining power, or will I have 2 separate ones? No, you can't have 2 separate ones. You can only add on, and you can only add on up to the 9+3. So suppose you dip a toe in the water, you grab one at $995. Great. Thank you for joining us. We want you to spend some time going through our old resources, watching the Zooms, joining us on Tuesdays, looking into our eyes, having a barbecue with us, determining for yourself whether or not you think we're being honest and upfront and whether or not you can trust us. If you can, do 2 things. 1, contemplate adding more on. But 2, and this is really the one that we want, we'd much rather see you earning additional hash power instead of buying it. That means go out there, find your 3 referrals. Bring on 3 people. Once you're confident that this is a good opportunity, bring on those 3 people, invite them to our community, and then you qualify for the 1-2 free bonus. If you do that inside of the first 30 days, you get the double bonus. If you don't, it's okay. You still get the bonus, and then you got 30 days to get the double bonus again. Take your time. Don't rush. We know where we're going. We want you on board with us, but we want you to be comfortable where you are. Okay. So yes, you can upgrade your power. We'd much rather see you earning more, but if you want to upgrade it, let's say you buy 1, we'll give you 30 days to add on 2 more to get that buy 3, get 1 free bonus. All right. Rob's iPhone. Can you get a bigger green screen? The edge is just showing and it ruins the illusion. Yeah, I'm not in space. It's true. I feel like I'm there sometimes. It's not really the green screen, it's the camera. I don't want the camera is so like zoomed out. Can I zoom it in? I don't know how to do these things. Sorry, Rob. Troy says your backdrop is off center. Yeah, it is. A little better. Ha. Thanks, Troy. Nick, I'm finding it very difficult to buy and sell TXC on the 2 exchanges TXC is traded on. My question is, how can we expedite the listing of TXC on more reputable exchanges? Nick, I got to call out your BS on that one. Both the exchanges are extremely easy to use. We've been on DexTrade since May 15th, almost a year. There's plenty of liquidity on there. You should be able to easily buy and sell. And I'm sorry for calling it BS. Watch some videos. I'm not sure if it's a technical limitation that you're having or you're just not happy with the market. But you got to remember that the bigger exchanges we can't buy our way onto, or we already would have. We got to earn our way onto those things with the size of our community. In order to get on Coinbase, Binance, any of the other large exchanges, they want to see we've got a big Twitter following specifically. And it might even be called X. I don't know. But if you're that serious about seeing us listed on larger exchanges, which we want as well, rest assured, then help us grow the social media community. Very important. In the meantime, if you want to be able to buy and sell more and you can't find it on the market, just send a message into the group. There's lots of people out there be happy to buy and sell off market. Thanks for joining us, Nick. Brett says, once the mine is built, will miners have first dibs on any level 2 offerings created by Texacoin? Can this be used as a sales tactic and a reason to buy mining shares? I don't know. I was just having a conversation earlier with somebody about kind of what we're doing with jumpstarting our ecosystem. You got to remember in the early days of Bitcoin, there wasn't like mining pools and there wasn't like layer 2s and there wasn't altcoins. It was just Bitcoin. And they had years and years and years and years to just focus on making the first wallet and then getting a mobile wallet. Well, as we show up to the party redoing a layer 1, which means the hard way, we got to build a lot of this stuff ourselves. We got to build our own block explorer. We can't use DeFi block explorers because we're not built on Solana or Ethereum or Cardano or something like that. We got to build our own exchange portals. We got to build our own liquidity pools. We got to build our own mining pools. We got to build out our own nodes and our own wallets. And now I think we've got a Mac wallet coming as well. So we got to do all of this stuff ourselves, but we can't do everything. So we've really limited the scope. Texacoin is in the middle. On one side at the foundation is the mining, and on the other side is the layer 2. And so those are really the only things that we're focused on. And it's going to take us years to really develop those things all the way. I told everyone I'd given 5 years to Texacoin, 1 year down, 4 to go. So the real question, Brett, is how much can we accomplish inside of that time? And I know we can't do everything. So there will be other people that come along and create things on the Texacoin blockchain. Those things we won't really have a piece of. Now, I can tell you that we do have something else coming down the pike that you will have first dibs on as a Texacoin miner. And there will be fun stuff like that from time to time. But the real answer is those are the things we're focusing on. Core Texacoin, the mine, and the layer 2. That's it. Then we publish that stuff for the community to engage and use for themselves as well. All right, let's keep going here. Lots of questions tonight. Bobby, am I supposed to be sharing my screen? Well, yes, I am. Where can I purchase more cold storage coins? I think we're going to have them before the end of the week on a store. I don't know which store, but on a store. Thomas, do we have to sign up for the trade show event in Las Vegas and or our event? No. Well, maybe. Well, okay. There are 3 events. There's the Bitmain event, the WDMS. Now, we've already secured tickets for, I think, like 35 or 40 people. Bitmain is being a bit withholding on those tickets, and I don't think you can go to their website, set up an account, and buy a ticket. If you can, go and do it, and I'll reimburse you because I'm having a hard time. But the second event is the Bitcoin 2025, and that's being held at the Venetian. It's an expensive event. I'm not going to that event. I don't want to go to that event. It's like $1,500 for a ticket. That event is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, which overlaps both our event and the Bitmain event. The third event is our event, which is going to be on Wednesday, the 28th. Now, the core of our event is going to be our kind of like 4-hour lunch and learn session. We're going to do like a quick introduction, then a nice lunch, and then we'll do a 2-hour training session after that. And so we will have an RSVP for that. If you're already going to be there, we'll put you on that list as well. So you don't really have to sign up, but other people will for that event because it is going to be open. Some parts of that will be open to the public. Good question, though. Hi, Thomas. Where do the coins go that Texit purchases to support the price? They go to Bitmart and they go to Dextrade. And I can show you how much money I got on both. You want to see? I'll show you. Share. No, wrong button. Share my screen. Come on. Go away, AI. Share. There we go. So we were looking at Dextrade. Let's see how fast I can sign in. Maybe see if we can answer some other questions while we're going through this as well. Hold on. Dextrade authorization code. That's not it. All right, so that's DexTrade getting logged in there. Let's go to my wallet. So you can see on DexTrade, I've got $30,900 and all of that's locked right now in a position. And you can see from my open orders that I've got a couple limit buys, 79 cents, 79 cents, and 55 cents. I've got another $4,000 there at 55 cents. I can cancel that and I can plug more in. Let's go through and do a quick order. Markets, trade, spot trading, search coin name. Nope. It's moving too fast. Let's keep logging in over here while we're going. Not sure which one's the right account. I think this one is. Down. Do you see it down? I don't see it down. Oh, it's turned. Okay. Makes sense. Still got it in under 3 seconds. Oh, there's a lot. Okay. Google authenticator code. Just me, girl. Just so you guys know, my number one fan for listening to Tuesday Night Calls is my dog. My dog knows when it is call time. She comes in, pulls up a chair, gets comfortable, and now I've upset her. Okay, 383498. Is this the right account? Confirm. Okay, we were over here. We are going to place a limit order. We are going to spend all $5,747 at 0.79 cents. And what we can do is we can skip over that field and just put in 57.47. It'll do the math for us. Well, that's more than I thought. And hit buy TXC at 79 cents. And you can just see that that money is going to get included here. So now there's $27,000 there. All right, let's take a look over at Bitmart. What do we have sitting on Bitmart? No record. Oh, there it is. I've got $86,000 cash sitting on Bitmart right now. And remember, we're just putting a couple dollars in the order to support the price where we want it to be. Let's trade some Texacoin. And of course, over here on Bitmart, we're at 85 cents. So a little higher on Bitmart today than it is over on DexTrade. But that's the money we've got tied up. What do we say? How much? How many thousands? We've got 30,000 here. And we've got 86,000 over on Bitmart. So 116, not bad. It's about half of our liquidity is live right now on 2 exchanges. Remember, guys, don't leave your cash on the exchanges any longer than necessary. Okay. Where do the coins go that Texit purchases to support the price? Okay. So your question is, where do those coins go? So those coins go into my wallet. I pull them off of there from time to time. I'll show you my wallet here on my phone. And I have a wallet here that I call TXC Trading. And I got 103,000 that I've bought off the market that goes into my trading wallet. This is the wallet that I use when I need to pay out commissions. So if people have got commissions that want to get paid out in Texacoin, that's where I pay it out from. I do that so I'm buying the coins off the market to support the market, and then I'm sending them right back into circulation. Hopefully that answers your question, Brian. Good question. Jay says, what is the node speed on Texacoin versus Bitcoin? Bitcoin makes a block every 10 minutes. We make a block every 3 minutes. So we're about 3.5 times faster than Bitcoin. Due to the fact that it's a layer 1 coin. Not sure what you mean. I think that's what you mean. What happens after we hit 16 as far as liquidity? Well, let's talk about that real quick, because there's kind of an interesting question about what Texacoin is worth. Texacoin right now is worth a factor of our price times our circulating supply, but our price is largely driven by the growth of our community. Okay. What the price tells me is that the world does not yet really know about Texacoin. Why? Because once the world finds out about Texacoin, then the price will bounce up and it'll kind of hang out somewhere near 16. Why? Because we know how to get to 16. Our community is growing fast enough to support the price on its way up to 16. And so if that growth continues, then the market's going to accept that we're going to be a $16 coin. Where will it go after that? After that, the growth is based on the success of our projects, our layer 2, the wallet, our ability to get onto larger exchanges. So as far as what happens after 16, that is based on us performing well as a layer one cryptocurrency, accomplishing our major goals, which is to become a currency. And so I think we can go at least to 1,000. The reason for 1,000 is because that'll put us at like a $62 billion. Wait, not 62 billion. 62 million coins times $1,000. Yeah, that'll put us at a $62.5 billion value, which would put us all the way up there in the top 10. That would put us right up in the top 10, which is where I think a legitimate coin that's successful, that has the ability to do what Bitcoin was supposed to do, is able to go. And that is the answer of what happens after 16. Anonymous person says, thanks. You basically answered my question. Very excited. Great. Glad to hear it. Good. Y'all hiring at the office. Look, we got to go in bite-sized chunks. We just brought on 5 people. Give us a couple weeks to let the dust settle on that, and then get in touch with Michaelin and let her know what you can do and how you can help. We really need a finance person right now. OMG. Accounting, finance, bookkeeping, like money management, helping me track down this $800,000 plus of peer payments. I need some help there. Where can we get the Texas gear? Send a message out to the group chat. We don't really have an official store right now, but there are lots of people, great people out there that are making cool stuff. How many days behind are y'all? Like 2. We're not that behind. It's just we got 100 people signing up a day right now. Hello, Bobby. How do we get set up to host a Texacoin meeting or dinner? Is there a certain criteria you need to meet to be eligible? Really what you got to do is just work with your sponsor. Our hierarchy right now is this. You got me, and then I've got people on my power leg. And a lot of those people on my power leg have become what we call Texas Rangers. Now, we got together a couple of weeks ago, and I asked them to bring on a couple Texas Rangers because we got a lot of great things happening inside of the tree. And so I think we're up to like 22 or 23 Texas Rangers now. And these are people that have decision-making and checkbook authority. In fact, I yelled at the Texas Rangers the other day. And I said, guys, stop asking me these stupid questions. You have authority to make any kind of bad decision up to $3,000 anytime without needing permission. We've got cash coming in. We're successful. Like, we need to keep going. We can't wait 2, 3, 4 weeks for you to decide if you're going to get together and have a dinner with Deborah. Just do it. Everything we've done so far has worked. Some of the things have worked a little too well, as you can see. But the point is that, like, just do it, right? If you do it and it's a total flop, I got your back. It's all right. Do it on a small scale if you're not sure you want to test the waters, but do connect with a team leader or sponsor or a Texas Ranger, and they'd be more than happy to help guide you through the process. Do what has worked for us well in the past. And hopefully they can get you pointed in the right direction so that you're doing successful events multiple times per week, as we are here around town. Austin says, I tried connecting a second cold storage wallet. Went to the office. 25% an attempt, direct 25%. It did not work. Is this possible? I don't know why it couldn't have worked. It's pretty easy. Maybe the wallet address was wrong. Maybe the sum didn't add up to 100. It should give you an error if you do something wrong. Mike wants to know if I think we will achieve $16 before February. Mark wants to know. Mark, remember, our price right now is a factor of the movements that we do or the fact that we pop. And I do think that we will pop way earlier than February. My guess is sometime late summer. Shane, hey, Bobby, have someone who wants a 9-pack but doesn't have the crypto in his account. Is there still some flexibility? Or can he Coinbase get it locked in, start earning coins? Yes, that's exactly right. Add the money to Coinbase. Look, if you wire off to Coinbase or Kraken, they'll make it available for you right away. I think we're also doing wires right now for 9-packs. Maybe. Don't hold me to that. But yeah, if you show us a screenshot that you funded your your crypto account on something that gives you the ability to transfer, then we'll get it set up for you. We'll check back in a couple of days. It's taking us that long to ship coins out anyway. What's the downside? Sent you a message on TLGRM. Thanks. About being able to take credit cards. We don't want them. If you want to take credit cards, you can. But every time we've done it, it's ended badly. Just ask Jay. Coach Bud, what's up? I owe you some silver coins. Are we not having someone from corporate call new folks anymore? P.S. Steve has been awesome. Yeah, Steve's pretty cool. Look, we started doing the phone call onboarding process when we got overwhelmed and added a couple new people. And we said, look, we've got more people, so now we've got more time. So now we can reach out and handhold a little bit. We have more people, but we're out of time. That was working when we were signing up like 20 or 30 a day. Now it's more like 100, 150 a day. And so even with five people, it's going to be hard to put a 5 minute phone call into every single person. So we're going to do the best we can. If someone's ready to pay, they're already in, it's all done. We'll add them, blah, blah, blah. Send them the email. Somebody needs to have a conversation. We'll get them in touch with Steve. MD, where will this replay be posted? They always go to the resource section of the back end. So log in a couple hours, maybe tomorrow. You'll see it there, but we also post it to the Telegram group. David, influencer here. Okay. Thanks, David. We have been giving away 100 hash a day to our followers and customers. Cool. And it's making some great new folks. Yes. Just came on about 2 weeks ago, but I'm taking it all hash, baby. Well, you've got the hash hog to wrestle with because he also likes to take it all in hash. Here to help us grow. Thank you. Glad new help is coming on. Glad to be part of the team. 2,200 hash so far. Great job. Yeah, 100,000. But don't stop there because you could be the first into the Million Mega Hash Club, which has a $2 million bonus. If you're there later than first, it's a $1 million cash bonus. And I'm not joking. Ryan says, does that mean no more precious metals? No, Ryan, precious metals are good to go. Love precious metals. T2, any reason you aren't automating the placement portion of the back office? Yeah, a little bit. As soon as we do that, then people are going to get real creative and start buying extra spots and putting them wherever they want. And it's just a little bit more than I'm willing to take on right now. A little bit more. We'll get there. What's up, Joey? Hey, man. Since Kier and others accept payment types that aren't in the application page, can we get those additional backdoor payment methods added to the application for new miners? No, we're phasing all that stuff out. We don't want it. Kira's got 60 grand stuck in her Venmo account. It's going to take her weeks to withdraw. Like it just doesn't work. It doesn't scale. If you need a favor every now and then, yeah, send a message to Kira, but that's not the direction we want to go. We'd much rather see those people getting Venmo, PYUSD, and then paying us in PYUSD. It's really easy with Venmo if it works, which it doesn't, not very often. But no, we can't go backwards. So we're taking these things off the website one by one by one, and we're going to get to the point where it's crypto or pay another miner, and that's it. Is there a time limit on getting people? No. You got as much time as you want. Just remember the bonus is double for 1, 2 free inside the first 30 days. Can we schedule a visit to the Layer 1 farm in McKinney? Yeah, but not yet. We did one a couple weeks ago. The mine's been having some voltage problems. I'm dealing with that. We've got the container scheduled to arrive in early June. I don't have to look into my calendar to know that June's the one that comes after May. So we could have a container here to show off, which is going to be a lot more impressive than what we've got going on in McKinney in the next probably the next month or two. I'm not sure if it arrives early June or it ships early June, but one way or another, it's going to get a lot bigger and a lot better. And we'd much rather give tours of that than the little thing that we've got going on in McKinney. But we will do another tour sometime soon. Can I give you silver and 500 plane refund in Vegas for the purchases of mine? Can I give you silver and my 500 plane refund in Vegas for the purchase of mine? I'm not sure exactly what you mean, Mr. or Mrs. Anonymous Attendee or Ms. Can I give you silver and my $500 plane refund? You want to give me a plane refund? I think I'm supposed to give it to you. I don't know. I'm not carrying silver to Vegas, though. Question from a new miner. Would like clarification. Quick question. To get the 3+ free, do you need to buy that package? Or can you buy 3 seats individually over the first 30 days? Yeah, look, if you buy one, and then next week buy one, and then next week buy one, send a message in and say, hey, I've bought these 3. They have to all be in the same spot, though. You can't do one for me and one for my mom and one for my sister, and then I get the free one, right? No, not how it works. But if you buy one, add one, we'll give you the bonus one as long as it's in the first 30 days. Hope that answers your question, anonymous attendee. Yes, Ed, thanks for waiting patiently for the peer invoices. They're coming from Trey. Trey's a little slow. He's very special. He's normally in studio with us, not here today, but he will have them all emailed out tomorrow. Ed, other Ed, new miner here, 1 week in. Hey, Ed, for clarification, we are mining the equivalent of $5 per mine share per day, right? Yeah, look, it's up and down. I think today was about 7 coins. It should have just paid out. Let's go take a look. Let's see what the mine has done today. Share screen, share this, share. Let's go to, what's the website again? The number of times I get that question from Texas Rangers is awkward. $8 since the last reward. The reward today was 95,249. The way you can do the math is real easy. Our current sold hash power is 1.642 million. So I think I shared the wrong thing. Let's try to share my whole screen. Share. There you go. So 100 per seat divided by the total hash power, which is 1,642,900, right? Means that's how much percent one seat gets multiplied by the, this is fun to do, guys, because it's always an exact number, 95,249,999 times 95,249,9, wait, 0.999 equals, holy crap, 5.79 coins today. What's the price? 82 times 0.82 is about $4.75. So it's a little below the $5 target. But as you know, we can't push the price up until we have the cash in our liquidity. So keep an eye out for that sometime later in the month as we start looking at our June target. But yeah, that's the goal. The goal is about $5 a day. And we're growing very, very quickly, which is cool. A double-edged sword. Mining output per seat goes down. Price of the coin goes up. Melanie says, Melanie says, is the new miner store open for buying cold storage coins for $5 yet? No. I will get that set up this week. I pinky swear. E, when the mine is sold out, what do you project the coin production hash will be hash per day? Well, the last seat on the rocket ship is going to get 100 divided by 100 million, which is a very small number, multiplied by $16. That's going to be, multiplied by 95,000 coins. I messed it up. 100 divided by 100 million equals a very small thing multiplied by 95,000 coins a day. I keep messing up. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. 100 mega hash over 100 million mega hash equals, okay, times 95,000 coins. There we go. You'll get about a tenth of a Texacoin per day, just underneath, right? Multiply that by $16. Very unimpressive number. $1.60, $1.50. And so remember what we talked about at the very beginning of the call about how every time somebody gets on the rocket ship, they're restarting that process, that spiraling cycle towards the top. They're not getting on the rocket at 16, hoping that we go to 16. We're going to need to come up with lots of other great stuff to take our price from 16 to 80 to 200 to 500 and all the way up to the top 10. So we're not stopping at 16. Very important for you to remember that. That is not the end of the line for us. Lupert, what happens at the end when you providing 5 years of this project, 4 years from now? I don't know. Committee, board of directors, charitable foundation. I don't know, but we've got a lot of time to figure that out. Jeffrey, how can I become active at selling TXC at different types of events? We've had a lot of great times at the coin shows and gun shows. Talk to a Texas Ranger. They'll see if they can get you set up with like a kit of stuff that you'll need to be successful there. Oh, and our new brochure is coming today. The one that holds the coin. Very cool. Maybe today. I don't know if it arrived today. Jacob says, with my new mine, the coins I collect, I can just keep those and let them sit, correct? No, you don't have to sell. But I'd like you to sell some. I'd like you to know that this thing is real. I'd like you to know how to sell them. You know, when the day comes and they're worth $38 and your hand's shaking because you can't hold your phone, we want to make sure that we practice a little bit before we go and cash out. Sean says, I would like more understanding around the post-sale of all mines. How will mining facilities maintain the cost of OEM electricity into the future if revenue is no longer generated from the sale of mines? This question is pulled from someone on Telegram. I'm not sure if they're on the call or not. That's an easy question. Merge mining. Imagine my surprise when I found out that we could mine Litecoin and Dogecoin to pay our electric bill and get free electricity to support all of our endeavors very profitably while we're also mining Texacoin. Merge mining is the answer to that. I think I got a good article set up about that. Maybe not. Justin's back. I've had a few people ask why the coin is marketed for Texans. Is there a potential to change or rebrand? No. It's very specific. We have a geographical area that we're focusing on, right? We're the Made in America blockchain built specifically in Texas. We've got great power here. We've got great culture here. We've got a lot about Texas that makes our project unique. We could not have launched this as Oregon coin or like Iowa coin. It wouldn't have worked. The whole world knows and loves Texas. Western culture, the spirit of Americanism, it's really solidified deep in the heart of Texas. Our story is about Texas. And so lots of other places are welcome to build on top of the TXC blockchain, but our story will always be headquartered and focused on the state of Texas. Hopefully that answers your question. Hot damn, let's get to 1,000. Yes, that's exactly where I'm going. Actually, 1,880 is my new target. Top 3. How's the testing on the home miners going? Testing's going great, but they haven't arrived yet. We're still waiting for the first 2 pallets, 16 each pallet, and I just ordered 120 of them. Can someone visit the main office and get a tour? Maybe. It's kind of a mess. Not really something we really want people to beat around. Mark says, where's the USDC wallet address to send crypto to? Who do we send the hash transaction ID number to? Mail it to money@mindtxc.com, and they will let you know. Our wallet address changes every week. We will be happy to share it with you at the beginning of each week if you need to know what our wallet address is for the week. David, how do I get the million bonus? You got to hit the million mega hash, right? We're building a mine that's going to have 100 million mega hash. Some people, a couple of you, will continue growing and helping us build, and you will acquire so much hash power that you hit the million mega hash goal. If you hit that goal first, you get a double bonus. But if you acquire enough hash power through your own personal efforts, remember, you can't buy it. But if you get enough hash power where you're now hashing at 1 million hash per day by yourself, you're in the million mega hash club and you get a 1 million bonus. You'll need a combination of 1, 2 frees, and you'll need the BOGOs. You add them all up. I think something like 6,000 or 8,000 people. I'm not sure exactly what the number is, but you'll get there. Sounds far-fetched, but nobody thought we'd be bringing in $1 million a week. Here we are. Autonomous attendee, thanks for all your hard work, keeping us updated every week. Hardworking others. Yes. Question. I have noticed some of my new folks are just receiving the coin in the mail. Are you not sending out the booklet? No, we're not. We're not. Everyone's going to get the booklet. We're going to do a mass booklet mailing, and that's because the package that holds the booklet and the coin is getting torn to pieces. Like 10% of the people that are getting them have the coin ripped out the side, and it shows up in shambles. So we're using the bubble mailer, and then everyone will get the booklet and the mission control manual sometime soon. Sorry about that. Daniel says, I would like more understanding around the post-sale of all mines. I feel like we already answered that. I got set up today. My reward is already at 5,799. Yes, just like the math we did, right? We did that math. 5,799. 579. Yes, good for you. Welcome aboard. It just came in. Yes, it does that every day automatically. At least it's supposed to. May I apply my $500 refund for the plane fare and an additional $500 cash for the purchase of a mine? Sure. That sounds like a great way to use your refund. Felix says, I'm a new miner. How many miners are doing this right now? Well, that's a good question. And we just fixed some of the charts on the website so that they actually match up now correctly. Let's see what the website says. We've got 4,074 miners. Those 4,074 miners are broken up between the beautiful Republic of Texas and other places. That probably means we just have old addresses that aren't filled in all the way. U.S., quite a few people in the rest of the U.S. New Zealand is on the board. Great job. 4,074 people today. Great job, everybody. Really appreciate the hard work. Gotcha. Can't come join us. Jason's YouTube live stream tonight, 7:30. I got to wrap up. That's in 4 minutes. Links in Telegram, guys. So the mine will always put out 95,000 a day. I think that number should increase to 120,000. But that's where we are today. That's where we're going to stay for a while. It's programmed that way. If we change, we'd have to change programming. Shane says, when coin goes to $200 a coin, miners will still be paying $9.95. Yeah, but I don't think it'll be a $5 a day. Well, yeah, it would be a $5 a day ROI. But that ultimately depends on whether or not there are still seats left on the rocket ship to sell. Hello, Lindsay. How long does it usually take to get your coin in the mail? I haven't received mine, and it's been almost a month. That's too long. Email the office tomorrow. Let's see if we can track that coin down or send you a new one. Can I come by McKinney office and grab some coins in Mission Control? Yes, you can. Come by for like a visit. Come by to bring us delicious sweet treats or to pick up gear. Yeah. Okay. Send a message, schedule it. It's all good. Joey says, if I heard you correctly, when we hit 16 one day, at that point, you're estimating that our daily rewards will be down to about $1 and change per 100 mega hash. Yeah. If you only have one seat and we've sold out and we're at $16, and that would be $1.60. That's right. But again, not stopping there. And we don't really know exactly when those like things cross over, when those thresholds combine. We just have to watch. Right now, we're doing great. We don't know exactly what the modifications are we'll have to do as we continue to get bigger. But that's the target for now. And I think that target's going to continue to work over time. But we'll see. What does it mean to build on Texacoin? Layer 2. Remember, Texacoin is a layer 1. We're the foundation. We're the network. We're the infrastructure. We're the mainframe, decentralized. We're the series of supercomputers that process the transactions. And what we're hoping for is that people come along and build on top of our network because they want to build on the Made in USA blockchain. Sounds weird, but we've got lots of requests already. We're just not ready to service those yet because our layer 2 is not done. 3 questions left. Chad says, Bobby, keep up the good work. Great work is what I was going for, Chad. I can aim higher. I appreciate the personal call to my friend George in the Carolinas. Was it me? I don't remember. Looking forward to our our next steak cook-off. Yeah. Be ready. I'm bringing my A game next time. That's Chad, the hash hog. Anonymous person says, people I know want to learn more about Texacoin, but aren't sure about it because there's no information in a white paper. Yeah, we don't do white papers. What's the best way to help them learn more about Texacoin being a legitimate crypto? A couple things. Texacoin website, there are 2 good videos there. One's like 2 minutes, one's 6 minutes. Then they can go on to the Case for Texacoin website where the 16-minute video is. Excuse me. They can join us on a Thursday night call to see the guy himself, see if they believe me. Or they can YOLO and take a leap of faith and join us and start mining Texacoin. Joey, understood. Thanks you. Go, Bobby, baby. That's me. I'm Bobby Gray, founder of Texacoin, fearless leader. A little tired right now, working through it. Lots more coming, guys. Stay tuned. Thanks for the patience. Thanks for the kindness. Jump on Jason Birch's video live call thing he's doing. Get involved, go out, meet some people, have some fun. Hey, join us for roller skating at Interskate, May 22nd, Pizza Day. Join us in Vegas. If you're in for Vegas, we need to know soon. Things are booking up, getting more expensive. It's time. Thanks so much, everybody. I will catch you again on Thursday. Good night.